Hi friends, welcome to Tutors Funny channel. Today I am going to teach Spring Boot layer architecture. This is very important stuff before you are starting the Spring application project. If you are not good at the Spring Boot layer architecture, you can't complete the Spring Boot application project. So first, if you understand the layer architecture well, you have to implement the project very easily. You have to whatever project you can develop in spring based on the spring boot application, right? Let me learn how the spring layer architecture works. Right now, here spring boot is a backend application, right? Front end, what are the front end applications we are connected through the spring boot? We are connecting React and Angular. These are the best front end frameworks, right? Now, when you imagine you have a sign up form, you have registered the particular form. This is the front end. It may be the Angular or React. Click submit button. Data is coming via the DTO format, right? If you have a ID, phone number, name, address, all the data is coming via the DTO format. It will be coming to the controller, right? It's a controller. Spring Boot framework is a MVC architecture project. You all know about what is MVC, model view architecture, right? First, what I told right now, the record is coming via the DTO, right? DTO, then it passing to the controller. Control is a part, it will be passing the record to the service. Service, it has a interface and class, right? First it has an interface and class. Service passing to that particular record to the repository. Repository is the core part. In your core Java, you have, if you want to insert the record into the database, you are right insert into the particular table name, all the things. The same, all the queries in Spring Boot application, we are managing by the repository. This is a query management part, right? After that, it will be sending to your database to add the record into the database. It can't directly add the records. There is a layer, there is an entity. It will be communicating the entity to passing the records to the data source. Data source, it may be the MySQL or PostgreSQL or MongoDB. Okay, there are various databases are there nowadays. You can, what is the database you are elected, that specific database, you can add the record into the data, right? After add the data, if the data added succeed, it will be, the request will be back here, response will be go here, this arrow is go here, and front end it will be show the message is record added successfully. Like this is the flow. Okay, this flow you have to understand. In few minutes I will tell you, I will show you how to make this all the architecture in our Spring Boot application project. Then you have to implement it, right? First, I have short and brief. I will tell you again. First, front end. What is the record you are in a sign up form? You have fill the sign up form and click button. Record is passing via the DTO. So DTO it passing service passing the repository passing to the data source to add the record into the database. Right. This is a flow you keep in your mind. This is how the Spring Boot is working. Right. Now I go to the folder architecture. You can see here. This is a simple Spring Boot application project. Right. Imagine you have a core Java. How to developing this project? First you have to make the database. Make a database. Inside the database, make a tables. The same flow, the Spring Boot architecture also working. First we have to, there is a file which is an application property. Here we have configured the database connections. All the database we have configured, right? This all the project I will doing and practically. Then you will be understanding that. Okay, here we have created the database. What is the database we have created here? This is a database I have created. After that, we have created the table. We have a one package we have created the entity. This is a package. What are the columns inside the table? Here we have specified the column name, the table name. These are the columns, right? First, you have to create the database and table. After that, this table, what are the columns are there? We have to create the separate package DTO. So DTO is same, only the column. This is the column name will be this how the database column name will be created. This is the front end data, right? The front end data, the same thing. We have to create it here the DTO. Student ID, student name, and address, and these all things I will explain. Don't worry about that, right? You have to understand the flow, how the flow is working in the Spring Boot application. Then only you have to easily developing and implement the project, industrial project. This is must. How to implement that step by step. So this of the table, this is the columns are there. So these columns, this is a column when the request is coming from the front end. These are the columns names. It which goes to the controller. Controller receive the request. Get this DTO, save DTO. Okay, if you update the DTO, update DTO. Get the DTO, get the different DTO you have to create, right? So here we get here. You just understand here. Record is coming via the DTO. DTO sending the record to a student service means it's a service. A student service. Service, if you are go to the service, this is the interface. That only the implementation is there. We are nothing doing anything else. So the interface passing to the service interface passing to the class, which is a student IMPL. Here we had the record into the database. So how to add the records into the database? We can't directly add the data. So what the thing we have to connect through what the things entity. Entity. So here what I did here is, so here you can see here all things are done. Record is coming via the DTO. Here so DTO we are passing the records. After that we have to save the record via the repo. So here we have to create a repo. So repo how to pass. This is our entity. Okay, student entity. Right? So that's how we are telling that we are receiving the data from the uh, service. This is a service. Service what I'm doing there is we can't add the data direct to the repo. This is a repo. What happen is get the this is the DTO. DTO we have this is the DTO we have set the get and get method all the data. After that we are setting to the we have to create the object of the entity. At entity. Entity means this is a table setting. Values also there. It will be setting to entity through we have to add the records into the database. So this is the repo. We have read the repo. Okay. So here say entity object. We are passing the entity object. Student repo means student repo. Student repo which is communicate with the database and add the record into the database. That's all. After that it will be written. It back to written and it will be record added successfully. It goes to the front end. This is how the works. Record is coming via the DTO passing the controller passing to the service pass IMPL passing to the repo, it can't directly pass, it create the object of the entity student, it will be passing through via the entity to repo, add the record into the database. This how the flow work. You must understand before you have to creating the project of Spring architect, layer architect. If you understand this one well, whatever project you can develop without any barrier. This is must. Okay, you can develop the project without any barrier. This is what you must learn. Record is coming when the request is coming at front end passing the controller passing to the service passing the repository the one who passing to the record the data source via the entity. After that, like the record is added successfully, what happens? It's the response back to your front end. Right? This how the Spring layer architecture works. I hope you guys you understood so far well. I'll be seeing you in my next lecture. Thank you for watching.